I'm going to be sharing my testimony tonight.
Wow.
So, pretty excited to do that. So, a little nerve-wracking, but excited. So, I was born and raised here in Corpus. Both my parents were strong Christians, and so as a result, I was brought up in the church. I was that kid. It was Awanas, VBS. I went to a private school for most of my education, so I was that kid, just inundated in Christianity, and I may have dedicated at some point, but like many, I wasn't quite mature enough to really understand what it meant to be a Christian, what it truly meant. And so my parents didn't believe in getting me a phone. So I was about 13, and my parents got me my own iPad, like my own tablet, and I started getting involved on social media. And it was through this medium that I was exposed to pornography. And from about the ages of 13 to 18, I was viewing pornography on a regular basis, and it just got more frequent as I got older. And I was pretty naive to start because no one had really sat down and explained to me the dangers of pornography. And I knew it was a problem because there were countless times where I would commit to stop, where I would tell myself, okay, this is the last time, and I just couldn't seem to stop. I would always give in to temptation. And most lasted days, maybe a week, but I would inevitably give in to temptation again. And so this had a lot of negative results. One, I experienced a lot of shame and feelings of hypocrisy. I dealt with lust. My view of God's design for sex was distorted based on what I saw. It affected my relationships with family and with my girlfriends. I was not equally yoked, and I felt a strong disconnect from the church. I was disconnected emotionally. I had to be dragged to church, and I had no connection with others. And there was a period where I doubted God and even my faith. And so at one point, I hit my lowest point, and I never questioned it was wrong, but I realized a few things. Number one, this would not get easier as I got older. It would only get harder. I always gave myself an excuse, well, once I get married, this is going to stop. And it's not the truth. And I could potentially pass this down to my kids. And I knew I wanted a family one day, and how could I possibly lead one effectively if I was living a secret life? And so it was a Sunday morning at the Net, and Pastor Jim Darnell was speaking. He opened up the altar for prayer after, and I felt a strong calling to tell someone about what I was dealing with. And so I opened up with him. I opened up to him about what I was struggling with. And I remember saying the words, "I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it." And he grabbed my head and he prayed over me. And he said, and he specifically that the Holy Spirit would help me forget anything in my head, just to focus on cleansing. And I just felt such a power in like the physical touch on my head. And so I returned to my seat, and I sat down, and I talked privately with God, and I just sat down, and I apologized to God, and I said those same words, "I'm tired of it." And right then and there, I made a commitment to never look at pornography again. And for the first time, I truly felt sorry for my sin. And so it has been a struggle, but I can say that since that day that I received prayer, I haven't looked at it once. I haven't looked at pornography once. On the bright side of things, shortly after school began, I rededicated my life to Christ in College Station at Antioch Church, fantastic church. And this time I knew exactly what I was committing to. And I knew that I wanted this to be a life ordeal. This was not going to be temporary. I wanted it to be a life ordeal. And I got baptized again with the Net in June. And so in conclusion, I want to leave you guys with this verse. And it's from Galatians, I think 5:12. It says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. And stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened by a yoke of slavery." And so my sin, it felt like a yoke of slavery, and because I was being controlled by this issue, right? And I have experienced a freedom like none other. It was so different than temporary solutions in the past because I had a change of heart. It actually repelled me, the sin. And so it strengthened my faith. God's power has been the foundation for my faith. And it serves as a reminder of his love for me, and I'm forever grateful. And so I just want to encourage you to open up to someone if you're struggling with anything, because just put yourself in their shoes. Would you not be completely understanding and willing to help? And oftentimes I've found other people are dealing with the exact same thing. They're in the exact same boat as you, okay? So anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.